just continuing talking about the ego a little bit with you today. And we kind of talked about our need to be right, how that causes a lot of division because it's a threatening thing to be wrong about what you think and believe. And so if your thoughts are challenged, if you're honest with yourself, you've probably felt that own defensiveness, that own threat in a relationship, or maybe an argument you had, or something on social media, a disagreement that you had. Obviously, politics is a very divisive issue, okay? And hopefully through awareness of what's just happening at the really, our biological level through our nervous system, we can become aware and we can learn to judge those thoughts, let them pass, and then we can be conscious creators of the lives that we want to have, not to be victim of that reaction. Secondly, we talked about as well how that fear comes from the need to be part of a community, that if you're isolated in the wild and in a survival mode, you're isolated from the tribe, you're in a very dangerous spot. Your likelihood of survival becomes very low. And so everybody is needing to fit in and needing to be a part of something. And so having commonality of beliefs gives you a part of a place to be in. But again, we want to overcome this fear. We want to see that we live in a different time and a different place. And so we want to see that everybody's activity, everybody's behaviors are really a reflection of wanting to be a part of something. And then maybe they're acting out of core hurts and woundings that they've had in their life. We'll talk a little bit more about core hurts and woundings in a different video. But I want to talk to you today, just real quick, about the ego and how it functions in relationships and these dysfunctional environments that people come out of. And so understanding human behavior in terms of this system and cycle is important to just understand people, maybe even understanding yourself better. Again, not at a place of judgment, but a place of being able to move forward, to love people more like Jesus, to love yourself, give yourself grace and compassion so that you can move forward in your own life as well. And so when your fear-based system kicks into gear, right, your sympathetic nervous system activates. That's the adrenaline rush in the body. So we get epinephrine, neuroepinephrine, cortisol. These chemicals are that adrenaline rush. It happens when we exercise some, and you get that rush of energy and excitement. And so, just like that, no way, I just got buzzed by a wasp, and that, bam, that's that's crazy. That's a true, that's a true adrenaline rush right there for me. And so now this is a chemical, dopamine rush. You hear about dopamine dependency sometimes, this adrenaline rush, people being adrenaline junkies. And so whenever you are releasing these chemicals, your self-importance, right, and your sympathetic nervous system is a chemical rush. It's a chemical release. And so people get addicted to that. And so a lot of systematic dysfunction is people's, in a way, just to understand it, like a drug dependency on your own, adrenaline in your body. You get addicted to that. You need that. And so a lot of times in relationships, you'll see that people create chaos and dysfunction when things are going well because they need that self-important adrenaline hit in their system. So just start to become aware of this in the patterns of the people around you and the patterns in your own life. Where are you acting and reacting instead of, being conscious to respond the way you want to a situation? All right. We don't want to be reactive. We want to respond. We want to be greater than our body's biological systems and the chemical releases that we get in our relationships and everything we do. We want to be conscious choosers of God's will, loving people, valuing ourselves highly, and creating a good way forward. So again, as we've talked about the ego, this is a third thing to help you understand yourself, help you understand what's happening around you a little bit more. And so just start looking for these patterns, and hopefully that helps you out today.